Hey, and welcome to this episode of Matched Betting Uncovered, brought to you by ProfitDuel.
It's great to be here.
Yeah.
We've got a really big topic today, something that's defining the whole side hustle game in 2026.
We really do. I was just looking at the calendar, and realizing we are deep into 2026, and the whole gig economy thing has it's completely changed.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, remember 5 or 6 years ago, it was all drop shipping or everyone was a crypto expert.
Right.
But you look at the landscape now, and there is one side hustle that is just head and shoulders above everything else in the U.S.
And you're talking about matched betting.
I am. It's officially the #1 side hustle in the country. It's funny. A few years back, it felt like this, the secret handshake, something people only whispered about on obscure forums. But now it's gone totally mainstream.
It's a legitimate thing now.
Totally. A legitimate, accepted way to make guaranteed monthly profits. I'm talking thousands. I see people paying for vacations, getting rid of student loans. It's wild.
It's a fascinating evolution, isn't it?
Yeah.
It went from, that sounds way too good to be true, to, wait, why aren't you doing this yet?
Exactly.
But, with anything that grows that fast, you start to run into a certain kind of problem.
The classic too much of a good thing issue.
Exactly that. Saturation. A few years ago, if you wanted to start matched betting here in the U.S., you had maybe one, maybe two real options to help you.
A pretty small pond.
Very small. Now, you type matched betting into Google and you're just bombarded. There are tons of platforms all saying they have the best tools, the fastest odds.
Oh, I've been there. It's analysis paralysis. You sit down wanting to make some extra cash, and 3 hours later, you just have a headache from reading reviews.
Right.
You just want to know, where do I sign up to actually start making money, not spend my night becoming a software analyst?
And that is precisely the mission for this deep dive. We're going to cut right through all that noise.
Let's do it.
We've looked hard at the 2026 landscape, and we're comparing the top 3 contenders in the U.S. market: ProfitDuel, OddsJam, and DarkHorse Odds.
The big 3. This should be good. And just for everyone listening, our goal is simple. We're going to stress test these platforms to figure out which one really makes this hustle easy and, profitable.
Let's get into it.
So let's start with the home team, the one that seems to be setting the pace, ProfitDuel.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. When you look at all the materials, user reviews, ProfitDuel is really seen as the gold standard, the most established platform in the U.S.
Which is interesting phrasing, right? Established. Because they launched in the U.S. in 2021. I mean, in tech, 5 years is a good run, but established makes me think of IBM or something.
True, but this is where the deep dive part is important. If you dig into their DNA, their history goes back way, way further than 2021.
Okay, so let's unpack this, because this was my big aha moment when I was going through the notes. ProfitDuel isn't just some startup that popped up recently.
No, not at all. They were created by the team behind OddsMonkey.
OddsMonkey. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, that name might sound a little quirky, but in this world they're heavy hitters.
Very heavy hitters. OddsMonkey is basically the European giant of matched betting. They started way back in 2010 in the UK.
Wow, 2010.
We're talking more than a decade and a half of experience. They've helped over 500,000 people in Europe.
500,000 people. That is a staggering sample size. So ProfitDuel is essentially importing that entire engine, that whole infrastructure, to the U.S.
Precisely. And it's important to understand why that matters so much. In a field like this, which is all about tech and strategy, you don't want to be the guinea pig.
Right. You don't want a platform that's debugging on the fly.
Exactly. ProfitDuel isn't reinventing the wheel. They're using a strategy and a code base that's been battle-tested for 15 years.
It's like buying a car from a company that's been making engines for decades versus one that just learned how to weld last week. You trust the engineering.
That's a perfect analogy. And you really see that engineering when you look at the software itself, at the toolbox.
Let's get into the toolbox. Because history is nice, but I need to know what buttons to press to make money. The first thing that jumped out was the Dutch Matcher.
The Dutch Matcher.
I just love that name. But for anyone new to this, what is that tool actually doing?
It's the heart of the whole operation. The Dutch Matcher is an advanced odds matching tool. Its job, simply, is to automatically scan all the sportsbooks.
Okay.
And find the best matched betting opportunities available at that exact moment.
So it's building the bridge between the promo you have and the bet you need to place.
Exactly. I mean, think about the alternative. You'd have 15 tabs open, frantically refreshing pages, trying to compare odds before they change. It's chaos.
I've tried it. It's impossible.
The Dutch Matcher just serves it up on a platter, says, here's the bet, go make your money.
But finding the bet is only half of it. This is where I think a lot of beginners get scared. You find the opportunity, but then you have to do the math.
Right, the stakes.
Yeah, how much do I bet on each side to make sure I lock in the profit? I'll be honest, if I have to do that on a napkin, I'm going to mess it up.
And that's where people lose money, human error. You move a decimal point, you miscalculate, and poof, your profit is gone. That's why the Dutch calculator is so critical.
It does the math for you.
It does all of it. You click the bet in the matcher, and the calculator pops up and says, bet exactly $50 here and exactly $32.50 there.
No, guesswork.
That's huge. That takes all the anxiety out of it. You're not
Yeah.
sitting there sweating, wondering if you did the algebra right. You just follow the instructions.
Precisely. And there's one more piece of tech in their stack that's key. The profit tracker.
Oh, I love a good dashboard.
This is integrated tech that lets you track everything over time. It sounds simple, but it's psychologically so important. You see exactly where you're earning the most.
It's like a fitness tracker for your wallet.
That's it.
Seeing those numbers go up,
Yeah.
that has to be a great motivator. You see you've made $500 this month and you want to push for 1,000. It absolutely is. But, tech is only one part of it. We have to talk about the human element.
Right. Because even with the best tools, sometimes you just have a question. A sportsbook changes its terms or something.
That's where they seem to really lean in. They have the standard stuff, step-by-step guides, video walkthroughs. But more importantly, they have a community. Their Discord server is incredibly active.
And that's a big deal. People underestimate how lonely a side hustle can be. Being able to just jump in a chat and ask a question and get an answer from a veteran in 5 minutes. That changes everything.
For beginners, that kind of support is often the difference between giving up after a week and actually building a real income stream.
Okay, so lineage, tools, community, what's the barrier to entry? What's the cost?
That's the best part. They have a free trial. You can get in, use the tools, see if it's for you before you commit a single dime.
Smart. Lowers the risk to zero.
Okay, so that's ProfitDuel, the gold standard. But they're not the only option. Let's switch gears to contender number 2, OddsJam.
OddsJam, yes. This is a very different beast. I see them in our notes as the data heavyweight.
That's a fair way to put it. OddsJam is this massive provider of sports betting news, content, real-time data. They're a big, well-known brand.
Yeah, they're definitely the famous one of the group. And they are effective for converting promos, right? The tools do work.
They do. They have the data. They have the odds. You can absolutely use their tools for matched betting.
There's
But
always a but.
there's a critical nuance here. OddsJam is not focused purely on matched betting.
Okay, so what else are they doing?
They cover a huge range of betting strategies. They're really big on arbitrage betting and something called EV betting, expected value betting. They cast a very wide net.
Let's pause on that. EV betting. How is that different from matched betting? Because to a beginner, betting is betting.
Great question. It's a fundamental difference. Matched betting is about hedging to lock in a guaranteed profit no matter what happens.
Right, risk-free.
EV betting is different. It's about finding odds that you think are wrong and betting on them, hoping that over time the math works in your favor. It involves risk. You can lose money on any single bet.
So matched betting is a sure thing. EV betting is playing the long-term probabilities.
Correct. And because OddsJam caters to that EV crowd, their platform is incredibly complex.
I can imagine. If I just want to clear a welcome bonus for $200 and I log in and see charts for expected value variance, that sounds overwhelming.
It creates friction. OddsJam really feels geared toward the super experienced bettor, the person treating this like day trading stocks. For a side hustler, it's probably overkill.
It's like buying a NASA supercomputer just to check your email.
That's a great way to put it. And that analogy holds up perfectly when we talk about the price.
Oh boy. I saw these numbers and I actually did a double take. Let's talk about the sticker shock.
It is significant. Their mid-range plan is $199 a month.
Whoa. Okay, $199. That's already a car payment for some people.
But their platinum membership, that goes all the way up to $1,499 per month.
Wait, hold on. $14.99
Oh,
a month.
A month, yes.
That's insane. Who is paying that?
Well, serious high-volume professional bettors. But for our listener, the person looking for the best matched betting site.
It seems impossible to justify. Let's compare that back. ProfitDuel's premium was what?
$99 a month.
So $99 versus potentially $1,500. That's a 15 times difference.
It really poses the question, does that extra complexity justify a price tag that's that much higher? If you're only doing matched betting, the answer is almost certainly no.
Yeah, that's a hard sell. You don't want to start the month $1,500 in the hole before you've even placed a bet.
Exactly. You want low overhead.
Okay, so we have the established specialist and the expensive data giant. Let's look at our third option for the bargain hunters. Let's talk about DarkHorse Odds.
DarkHorse Odds. They're the budget veteran.
Yeah.
They were one of the first U.S. sites to pop up, and they have a loyal following, especially on Reddit.
Reddit always finds the deals, and the deal here is the price. What are we talking?
$39 a month.
$39. Okay, that is way cheaper than the other two. That immediately gets my attention.
It is very attractive.
Yeah.
But, we have to bring in that old concept of you get what you pay for.
The classic trade-off. What are we sacrificing for that lower price?
Primarily, you're giving up usability and tooling.
Break that down. Does that mean the website's just ugly, or does it actually hurt your workflow?
It hurts your workflow. First, the guidance isn't really there. DarkHorse has fewer of those hand-holding walkthroughs we talked about with ProfitDuel.
So you're saving money, but you're spending brain power.
And you're spending time. The number of specific matched betting tools is limited. This leads to what I call the manual approach.
The manual approach. That sounds like code for doing it the hard way.
It is. You end up with a spreadsheet open, a calculator on your desk, you're doing the calculations yourself, double-checking odds yourself.
See, that's where they lose me. The whole point of a side hustle for me is efficiency. If I save $60 a month, but I spend an extra 5 hours doing math, is that a good deal?
That's the reality check, isn't it? You have to value your time. If your time is worth anything, spending hours on manual calculations just eats up all your profit.
Right, it defeats the purpose.
Automation is everything in 2026. Why do something manually that a machine can do for you instantly?
Okay, so we've laid out the contenders. We have the specialist, the expensive giant, and the budget DIY option. It's time for the final verdict.
Let's run down the decision matrix. We can eliminate them based on what a user actually needs.
Walk me through it.
Let's start with OddsJam. Incredible data, yes, but it's just too expensive and way too complex for someone who just wants matched betting profits.
It's a sledgehammer when you need a scalpel.
Exactly. Then you have DarkHorse. It's cheap, which is great, but it requires too much manual work, too much risk for a beginner, and the time you spend just isn't worth it.
Which leaves us right in the middle.
It leaves us with ProfitDuel. It really is the Goldilocks solution.
Not too hot, not too cold.
Precisely. It balances three things perfectly. First, the robust software from that odds monkey legacy, the Dutch Matcher, the Profit Tracker. The tech is automated and it works.
Check.
Second, the strategy, the guides, the Discord community, the support. They hold your hand so you don't make mistakes.
Check.
And third, affordability. $99 for premium plus a free trial. It's priced right for a side hustler. It works for a total beginner and a veteran.
It just automates the hard parts. The Dutch Matcher and the Profit Tracker. If the software does the heavy lifting, I can just focus on placing the bets.
And that's the main takeaway. ProfitDuel automates the hustle. In 2026, you shouldn't be doing this manually.
The verdict is in. ProfitDuel takes the crown.
Based on the combination of tools, support, and price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the clear winner.
All right, so for everyone listening who's been on the fence wondering if it's too complicated, what's the move?
The move is to stop overthinking it. The tools are there. ProfitDuel has a free trial. If you want to start this side hustle, you just need to check it out. Go see it in action.
It really is that simple.
And I want to leave everyone with one final thought. We always talk about a cost of a subscription, right? Oh, $99. But we rarely talk about opportunity cost.
Ooh, I like this. Go on.
In 2026, the tech exists to make this easy. If you choose the wrong platform or no platform at all, you're not just costing yourself a subscription fee. You're costing yourself time. And more importantly, you're costing yourself all the potential profit you could have made.
That's powerful. Every month you sit on the sidelines is a month of profit you just missed. You're paying a hesitation tax.
Exactly. The tools are there. Use them.
Well, I think that sums it up perfectly. We cut through the noise, compared the options, and found a clear winner.
It was a pleasure breaking it all down.
That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.